And one of the previous knockout reactions I did, specifically the one that had the Askren and Masvidal knockout, there was a lot of people in the comment section talking about that knockout, debating whether or not, you know, that was the best thing that ever happened to Masvidal, kind of put him on this rocket ship to stardom, and kind of portrays him to be better than what he is, and, you know, just pretty much saying he's not as good as he is famous. And then there's other people saying, you know, Masvidal's always kind of been this killer, and this knockout was really just kind of the thing that kind of got him on the mainstream and let everyone else know that Masvidal really is a killer, and he's always kind of been this good. And really just kind of breaking down and trying to dissect, you know, his path to success and kind of how he got to where he is now. There's a lot of small things that have to happen, things completely unrelated to Masvidal, things that literally happen on the other side of the world that trickle down and dominoed into his success and kind of him being the person that he is right now. So on August 4th of 2018 at UFC 227, Henry Cejudo defeated Demetrious Johnson for the flyweight championship. But how does this affect Jorge Masvidal? Well, because Demetrious Johnson pretty much had been clearing out that flyweight division for God knows how long, he pretty much beat everyone like 6 times over, and was tired of fighting the same guys over and over again and pretty much murking everybody. He wanted to try something new, so pretty much told the UFC that he wanted to be released. He was tired of what he's doing, which ultimately led to the trade between ONE FC and the UFC.
According to reports, UFC and ONE Championship have arranged a fighter trade. The UFC will release Demetrious Johnson, allowing him to sign with ONE, while the Singapore-based promotion will release Ben Askren, allowing him to sign with the UFC.
And not very long after, 1 month later at UFC 228, Darren Till loses to Tyron Woodley for the welterweight championship, which pretty much everybody had Woodley written off. Everyone thought that Till was going to win. Personally, I thought Till was going to win. At this point in time, Till was undefeated and looked like he was unstoppable, was literally punching everyone's heads off, and really looked like he was a real deal and probably the future of that welterweight division. And while Till was fighting for the belt, Masvidal was actually on a Spanish reality TV show in Mexico, pretty much like a challenge series. I don't know exactly what the show is, so I'm not going to explain it, but I know it's just kind of some sort of like challenge survivor kind of thing. And during this period of time, he was disconnected from everything else, the US and everything. I don't even think he had like phone connection. He mentions a lot during this time he was reflecting on himself, his career, and really kind of the direction that he wanted to take his career, because he felt like he was falling off. He felt like he didn't have that edge, you know, the killer edge. He was just kind of showing up to fight and kind of win, but was kind of letting off the pedal and was just kind of expecting to win the fight. Which ultimately led to a lot of decisions and a lot of split decision losses. Masvidal pretty much decides, you know, he's not doing that anymore. He's going to come back to the UFC. He's going to fight again. He spent 2 years off. He wants to come back. He wants to make another run at the title. And during this period of time, Darren Till's coming off his first loss, was the #1 contender in the welterweight division. I actually believe he was ranked like number 3 at the time, and Masvidal was ranked number 11. He was actually coming off a loss to Stephen Thompson, which was like a title eliminator, which actually led to Thompson's title shot. So Masvidal really wasn't in a bad position when he left for 2 years. You know, he was coming off of like being in a position really just to be right there just to fight for a title. Everyone pretty much forgot about him because he hasn't fought in 2 years. So this sets up a matchup for Jorge Masvidal and Darren Till. You could tell Masvidal wanted to try that like running out of the gate right at you stuff. You saw that in the Till fight, you know, he ran out and kicked Till straight in the balls. I think he was trying to do like an oblique kick or like kick him right in the knee, like a knee stomp. I guess that must have made Darren pretty mad. So once he recovered, he came back out and not even 10 seconds later walked Masvidal down and floored him within like 10 seconds. Put him on his butt, and it looked like the fight was going to be over there. Masvidal completely recovered, and you know, Masvidal showed what kind of dog he is. He hung in there, made it through the first round, actually tagged up Darren a couple times. In the second round, he was tagging him up again, caught him again with that switch stance, and I think that switch stance that Masvidal does where he switches stances and lunges forward, that's very underrated. I don't think a lot of people do that besides Masvidal, and I think it's a really good way to gain speed and really kind of thrust yourself forward and catch someone off guard, and I thought it was beautiful. I mean, obviously in the moment I was stunned. I did not want to see that happen. I'm a big Darren Till fan. I love Masvidal, but I'm probably a bigger Darren Till fan, and when I watched that live, that was awful. Being able to knock someone out like Darren Till, who was the #3 ranked guy after not fighting for 2 years, you can't say he's not a legit fighter. He's not a real deal fighter. He's a real killer. He literally hadn't fought in 2 years, fought the #3 ranked guy in the world and knocked him out cold in 2 rounds in his backyard. That's pretty insane. Which then sets us up 4 months later for the Masvidal and Askren fight, probably the most famous knockout in UFC history. Literally everybody and their mom, my mom included, has seen how that went down. Personally, I think it was an early stoppage, but in all seriousness, that knockout honestly was probably the best thing to happen to him. He had the 3-piece Minnesota, but the 3-piece Minnesota had to happen for Leon Edwards to confront him. If Leon Edwards didn't confront him, he may not have had the same hype. But when he knocked out Ben Askren, I don't think it really mattered what kind of hype he had before. He was on a mainstream level. Literally everybody was seeing that all over the world. Any sort of social media you saw was on every highlight, Sports Center Top 10, everything you saw had this knockout. So now you have Jorge Masvidal, who's come in on the UFC. He hasn't fought at all since 2017. In 2019, he knocked out the top-ranked welterweight and the top-ranked guy that's pretty much that was considered, you know, the best guy that never fought in the UFC. He was undefeated at that time, 19-0. Knocks him out in 5 seconds, completely murdered him, and had the best knockout probably in UFC history. And then we're gonna fast forward all the way to 2021 in the summer. Gilbert Burns and Kamaru Usman are set to face off on Fight Island for the very first pay-per-view on Fight Island. Gilbert Burns gets COVID, can't fight, So they call up Jorge Masvidal on a 5-day notice, fly him out to Fight Island, and pretty much the whole preface, you know, how it kind of got set up, you know, him flying out on a 5-day notice, being like 20 pounds over, whatever he was, stopping in Rome to get pizza and then fly to Abu Dhabi. Just things like that kind of build up the legend that is Gamebred, because people are like, this dude's insane, you know, he's 20 pounds overweight, 5 days notice, has 20 pounds to cut in 5 days, stops in Rome to eat pizza, and you know, he's still, it's just him being like a genuine guy. He's wearing a bathrobe all around the place, you know, it just makes people like you. I think him stepping in on a 5 days notice versus Kamaru Usman was bigger in terms of growing his brand and growing the legend of Gamebred than the Diaz fight. I really think the fact that Masvidal stepped in on a 5 days notice on Fight Island, because this was big when, this was like when Fight Island was first introduced and it was such a big novelty and everyone was like, oh my god, Fight Island, this is such a sweet concept. And the fact that Masvidal stepped in on a 5 days notice on Fight Island made people love him even more, because it had more of a mainstream reach and people were like, oh, this Masvidal dude's such a gangster. I really think it kind of fed into his gangster persona and things like that. And I really think it helped build his brand. And even though he lost, you know, the hype with Masvidal kind of died down a little bit. I think it's starting to build back up again, because, you know, they're talking about doing the rematch with Usman and Masvidal. We'll see how that plays out. If they actually do the Ultimate Fighter, that'll be interesting. I hope you guys did enjoy this video. If you guys did, please share this video with someone else that would really enjoy this video. I would greatly appreciate it. It really helps me grow this channel. Drop a like, leave a comment. If you guys have video suggestions, just do things like this. It really helps me grow my channel, gets my videos in the algorithm. And if you guys enjoy my videos, please subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. I'm really trying to grow this channel. But that's pretty much all I got. And until next time, I'll catch you guys later.